YouTubers, Mike Martins here, Mike Martins channel, bringing you an article for the Vancouver housing crisis. 2016 was a record-setting year for Canada's housing market. I love it. I'm so happy to be alive through this time. It's like almost historical, you know. Canada's real estate market will have a hard act to follow after record-setting 2016 prices and sales. The average price for various housing types sold nationally for all of 2016 reached a new yearly high of $490,495, up 10.7% from 2015. Let me say that again. Up 10.7% from 2015. Though there were stark differences within the country, the Canadian Real Estate Association, CREA, said Monday. Nationally, a record 536,118 residential properties changed hands last year on the multiple listing service, a 6.3% increase from 2015. Ontario and British Columbia accounted for 66% of last year's Canadian sales. Existing residential properties volume rose 9.4% to 243,400 transactions in Ontario, climbed 9.5% to 112,209 sales in BC. Clearly, 2016 was a remarkable year for Canada's housing market, with resales setting a new record high. Looking ahead, we expect that the housing policy changes, stretched affordability, and rising interest rates will exert a cooling effect in the market. Robert Hoog, senior economist of Royal Bank of Canada, said in a research note, in October, the federal government introducing tougher stress tests for gauging whether home buyers can handle an eventual increase in mortgage rates. The party's over, people. Like I said, who's going to clean up the mess? Interest rates are going to go up. Because when you're stimulating an economy on housing and student loans and personal debt, if the economy is built off that, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to have to raise rates because the party can't go on forever, right? Someone's going to have to clean it up. New regulations mean that in order to qualify for a mortgage, home buyers will either have to save longer for a bigger down payment to purchase low-priced home, CREA chief economist Gregory Klump added. In Alberta, sales last year dropped 7.6%, 52,169 transactions, but housing activity in Calgary and Edmonton picked up in December compared with November. Mind you, the price of oil is slightly heading upwards. While oil-belligerent markets have perked up, high unemployment will continue to limit home price growth over the next 2 years. Meanwhile, Montreal, which has been on a job-creating spree in the last 6 months, has become one bright spot. Toronto-Dominion Bank economist Diana Pertamala said in a note, the Montreal region had a benchmark home price of $312,700 last month, up 3.3% from a year earlier. The average 2016 price for detached houses, condos, townhomes, and other housing types hit a record of $691,000 in British Columbia, $535,931 in Ontario. Greater Vancouver remains the country's most, here comes, I'm changing pages, guys, most expensive market, with the price of homes last year selling at $1 million plus, while the Greater Toronto area placed second at $729,000. So, I got messages from people in Toronto, okay? They're asking about buying back in Toronto, what to do in the Toronto market. So if you're in Toronto and you're watching my show, I'll give you a piece of advice. You've missed the gravy train. You missed the boat. You missed the ride. It's kind of tough to get in now. And I'll be straight up with you guys. If you're in now, sit tight for summer. You're going to see prices rally. You're going to see spring hit in Toronto in summer. You're going to see over-the-top pricing rallying. And I will bet my 2 cents, I'll put my 2 cents in on it, that you have until fall to sell. Because I think the government's going to start implementing also rules. because they're gonna what's gonna happen is the people are gonna say enough is enough. Because there's a lot of people wanting to buy in the market, fresh new buyers, and when they can't buy, it becomes a strain on the government. It becomes a strain on the community. It becomes a strain on a lot of people, and they become stressed. So you're going to see huge rallying in Toronto, and you're going to see huge declines in Vancouver, like huge double-digit declines. And I'm not talking about in the teens either. The GTA tied with Niagara region last year for the highest percentage gain in average prices, 17.3%, with the BC Fraser Valley close behind 17.2%. Greater Vancouver saw the fourth highest percentage increase among major centers in Canada, 12.7% last year, though the West Coast market cooled off in the second half of 2016. Why? Because of the tax, the vacant tax, the this tax, everything they could put in, every measure they could put into place. By contrast, the average home price in Saskatoon slipped 1.2%. Edmonton and Regina markets were flat last year. Average residential prices in 2016 ended up 1.1% in Ottawa, 1.3% in Halifax, Dartmouth, 1.4% in Thunder Bay, and 2% in Calgary, and 2.3% in Winnipeg. The Victoria area saw the sharpest jump in residentials, rising 27.5% last year, followed by the Niagara region. Now, the Victoria area in Victoria, here in BC, the reason why it went up so much, and I'll explain to you why, is because once they implemented that 12 or 15% foreign buyer tax here, in Vancouver, a lot of people went up to Victoria to buy. So that's what happened. That's why it saw such a huge increase so fast. By the number of transactions over the year, Saskatoon fell 7.5%, 6.8% Edmonton, 6.1% in Calgary, 5.2% in Greater Vancouver and Hamilton. So Vancouver is riding behind, 5.2% in declines. Upward price pressures remain highly regionalized in Canada and concentrated in pocket of southern Ontario and parts of British Columbia, such as Victoria and the Fraser Valley, RBC's Mr. Hong said. In October, Canada Mortgage and Housing Corp issued a red warning for the country's real estate market as a whole. The federal agency cautioned that with many suburbs near Vancouver and Toronto already seeing prices spike, pressure is spreading even further out as some buyers search for homes in bedroom communities. So a lot of people are moving out to the suburbs. There's a lot of people, I don't know if you remember the article I read to you guys about Kelowna skyline is completely changed. You can find my videos here in Vancouver housing crisis. You will see what I'm talking about the skylines of little towns, like little cities that you wouldn't expect. Paper flew everywhere. That many people moving in at such a quick time. A lot of, like I said, a lot of doctors I knew that lived here, a lot of school teachers, a lot of people that really contribute really strong to the community left. And the thing is, when people like that leave, it creates a damage in the fabric. It creates a big damage because then that void needs to be filled. Like, there's doctors leaving in record numbers here. They just can't afford to live here. But the problem with that is, if you start losing your doctors, you start losing your nurses because they just can't afford to live in the city they're in, with that social fabric, like economic fabric, and the whole residual of the replacement, it's but then who are you gonna lure to come here and say, hey, you know what, your cost of living is gonna go up 50 to 100%, but come and live here? Like, people just won't be attracted to that anymore. I don't know. What do I know? I know nothing. But Torontonians, hear me out, people. If you own now, sit tight. If you're looking to buy, don't recommend it. Don't recommend it right now. Things are going to rally in the spring, strong rally, and you're going to see a huge rally in the summer in the Toronto, Oakville, Mississauga, Peterborough, Oakville, Mississauga, Brampton, those areas surrounding the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, parts of Markham. I'm seeing big increases. I really, if you hold now and sell in the summer, I think you do really well financially. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents. I don't know nothing. And Vancouver, you're going to see huge declines. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Thanks for watching, guys. And send me a link if you find anything good. Goodbye.